Review and practice reaction essay organization. So here I brought another sample essay written on the pictures, village school and children's puppet theater. So as I mentioned in the previous lesson, reaction essay has 5 paragraphs: introduction, body paragraph 1, 2, 3, and the conclusion. So in the introduction, the writer wrote a hook. It says, seeing the emotions expressed in children's faces can elicit powerful responses from the viewer. Children laughing hysterically, teeth showing, can brighten up your day. Thoughtful, solemn, or introverted feelings can touch you deeply. So, the writer wrote the hook here. Next, he wrote the background information. So, the background information starts from here, saying the photographs Margaret Burke White's Village School and Alfred Einstein's Children's Puppet Theater, Paris, 1963, both have children as the central figures. So, background information ends here. We have the title, the name of the photographer, and the date here, right? And next here he wrote the thesis statement. In the thesis statement, he wrote the mood and the general comparison of the essay. So let's read. Village School shows the more serious side, while the children's puppet theater reveals the freedom of youth. Although different, both photographs display a transparency of feeling reflected in the body language and the facial expression of the subjects. So this part is the mood, and from here till here, the general comparison. So now let's look into the next paragraphs. Body paragraph 1 and 2. In the body paragraph 1 and 2, so you gotta include the main center of interest, positioning of objects and people, contrast, lines, lighting, viewpoint, and mood. So the writer started the first paragraph with the mood. It says, in children's puppet theater, a crowd of excited and surprised children are all gathered together looking at the puppet theater. Some of them are screaming and others look astonished. They are reacting to something funny. So this is the mood. Then he talks about the main center of the interest. In the center, one child has his arms raised, pointing toward the stage, which we cannot see. Others are covering mouths and cheeks, and one boy is covering his ears. Perhaps he doesn't like what he hears. Some are holding on to each other as if they are shocked. Right? He just explained the foreground. Main center of interest. Starts from here and here. Then he says, what makes this picture so special is that the children are not posed, but have been caught in a vivid moment of spontaneous joy. Their expressions are so real that we can almost imagine the puppets they are watching. And then he talks about the viewpoint, positioning of the people. In the background, the light is diffuse, which suggests endless rows of children. And then he talks about the lighting. Second paragraph also starts with the mood of the picture. The group of boys in the village school are all seated, one behind the other, in a closed space on benches that look like church pews. Okay? Mood. On the periphery, the room looks barren with nothing to brighten up. The picture is dark. The boys are passive without any signs of emotion on their faces, and most of them are wearing somber clothes. This contrasts sharply with the light that shines only on their faces and heads. And then he talks about contrast. Okay. The center of focus is the boy in the foreground. And now he again talks about the center, main center of the picture. Start from here. He is completely alone in his row, isolated from his peers. It seems as if the children are oppressed and fearful. Perhaps the person who is in charge is very strict and severe, and as a consequence, the children behave well and remain quiet and calm. Next, we have body paragraph 3. In the body paragraph 3, we write the similarity and difference between the two photographs. So the writer started with the similarity of the photographs. Both paragraphs depict children of about the same age who are looking at someone or something that the viewer cannot see. And then he writes the difference here. The village school is made up of only boys, while the other includes both boys and girls. Having only boys gives the impression that the atmosphere is more rigid, and this is emphasized by the way the boys are positioned. Children's Puppet Theater, Paris, 1963, features many tones and shades of gray to white, and many different textures in the clothing. This photograph has a lightness about it in contrast to the intense gloomy quality of the other. Then we write the conclusion. In the conclusion, we must include the restatement of the thesis and our reaction to the photographs. So the writer wrote, "Photographs have an amazing power to transmit energy to the viewer. Diverse emotions that emerge from the images such as fear, happiness, anxiety, and hope can be experienced in an instant." So this is the restatement of the thesis. And then these photos captivate the viewer not by what the children are watching, but by how they react. We are drawn into their reality. So the writer ends the essay with his reaction. So now let's practice. So you are going to write a reaction essay in response to the above photographs. The children playing baseball and children playing in the water sprinkler. So in order to write a successful essay, we need to work on the vocabulary and the grammar. So let's brainstorm some ideas and vocabulary here. So in this exercise, you got to match the terms with correct definitions. So these terms are useful when you write a reaction essay in response to photographs. So what's periphery? Which one do you choose? So I'll give you a few minutes to match them visually. All right. Oh, here is little mistake. A, B, C, D, E, and this is F. So, periphery, the outer edge of an area. So it's F. Foreground, part of the photo that appears closest. So it's C. Background, part of the photo that appears the furthest away. So it's D. And the texture, quality that makes the surface look smooth or rough. So it's A. Shape, two-dimensional form of an object or a person, so it's E. And main center, point of viewer focuses on, so it's B. Okay, so please make sure you use these terms in your essay. And here's another exercise. So look at the photographs and describe the elements of each photograph. So here's the table. We have three elements: main, center of interest, foreground, and backgrounds, and some adjectives of shape and texture. So for the shape, we have round, rectangular, conicals, umbrella-like, square, oval, arched, semicircular, elliptical, triangular, straight, curved. And for the texture, we have smooth, shiny, rough, furry, uneven, rocky, bumpy, irregular, wavy, jagged, flaky, cracked, raised, fuzzy, sandy. Okay? So now let's look at the first picture, playing in the sprinkler. So, what's the main center of the interest? It's a shiny, umbrella-like fountain, right? So how about this picture? Children playing baseball. The main center of interest is the rectangular scenery and also the semicircular playing children, right? And how about the foreground? So let's look at the foreground. What's in the front of the picture? It's a straight water sprinkler, arched water sprayer, and a smooth street, and straight fence posts. And how about this picture? What's in the foreground? We see curved in the foreground, we see curved clothesline, and also the curved arms of a boy getting ready to throw a baseball, and also the vertical houses and round wheels. What's in the background? In the background of the first picture, we have the vertical buildings and straight roads. So in the background of this picture, we see curved clotheslines, and it looks tiny but straight bat. So make sure you use these phrases and adjectives for your essay. Next exercise. Select adjectives from the box and to describe the mood of two photographs here. So you may use an adjective more than once, of course. So, children playing baseball. So which adjective would you choose? So you may choose playful, maybe active, or competitive. Playing in the sprinkler. You may choose refreshing, soothing, carefree, peaceful, nostalgic. This could also be nostalgic, right? And friendly. So here's an outline. So what do? Review the brainstorming ideas that we practiced just now and the free writing exercise we wrote in the very first lesson. Then use the chart and write an outline for a reaction essay about the two photographs. Playing in the street sprinkler and playing baseball. So make sure you follow these outlines. So in the introduction, you write the hook, background information, this is statement. In the body paragraph 1, you focus only on the first picture. You write the topic sentence describing the mood, and then your analysis and supporting evidence. And then you discuss the second picture only on the body paragraph 2, and then topic sentence describing the mood and analysis, viewpoint, and other supporting evidences. And in the body paragraph 3, you compare the both photographs, similarities and differences. So you write the topic sentence and then compare and contrast. So when you compare, you write the similarities, right? And when you contrast, you write the difference. And then you write conclusion, and make sure you restate the thesis statement. So in the thesis statement, we basically write the similarities and differences, right? So please rephrase. And then your conclusion or reaction about the pictures, effect of the photograph on the, okay?